Peace, everybody. What's going on?
Peace.
Welcome to Substantial Sundays. Got a lot going on right now. Shout out to my daughter Serenity for helping us out today. And right, she just want to say hi.
Leave it on.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So thank y'all for tuning in. I wanted to apologize to y'all, man. It's been really challenging the last few sessions or whatever, having different issues with my connection. So I hollered at my boy Shamar. Say peace to the people. You know what I mean? So I wanted to tell you some plans that we have going forward, man. And you know, I think it's going to be really dope. So so for those of you who don't know and have never tuned in before, my man Shamar, peace one. My man Shamar is one of my oldest friends. It's my best friend. Like, we've known each other, wow, almost 30 years. You know what I mean? Like, go back to 5th grade. And so, yeah, so look, I'm getting the little updates right here. See, a little bit of upgrades. We got better lighting. You know what I'm saying? There's a co-host. We're trying to upgrade Substantial Sundays, man, and definitely, you know, I wanted to tell y'all about what the plan is. So the plan going forward, for those of you who've been following this for over a year now that I've been doing this, basically the plan going forward, my man Shamar, who's also one of my oldest friends, who's also my barber, is now going to be co-hosting Substantial Sundays with me. So, you know what I'm saying? So clap it up for that. You know what I'm saying? Clap it up for that. All right, and so it's exciting. So I'm really excited about how things are going forward. Working on this little logo for Substantial Sundays, so we can brand it and all of that, and just make it a little more engaging, a lot more clear, a lot more crisp. Just keep everything real tight, man. So I'm really excited. So right now we're shooting from the Chef Shop. This is actually my man Shamar's barbershop. This is a shop that he basically you only come here by appointment only. You know what I mean? And it's dope, man. And so I come here, get the special treatment. You know what I'm saying? Get served up, get real fresh. So anytime you see me at a show with the fresh cut, see me in one of my videos like the Subway, any of that you've seen or whatever, this is the brother who always hooks it up, man. And when you see me talking music online as well, oftentimes, you know, this is the brother who puts me on to a lot. So I figured, who better to co-host this with me than one of my oldest friends, the main dude who puts me on to so much music, and the main dude who like gets to hear my music first most of the time, you know what I mean, and critique it, with the exception of maybe the brothers I'm working with producing. So welcome, man. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, so I'm excited, you know. And so, real quick, for those of you who are just tuning in, if you don't know the routine by now, say peace. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and the most important piece is to share the video. All right. So, Sherm, I'm gonna let you speak to them for 1 second because I'm gonna close this door back here. We got our kids playing in the background, which is a beautiful thing. Right. It's all good. Yeah, man. So look, so I'm man, I kind of want to ask Sherm a couple of things, but I also want to show them something. You wouldn't have to. Oh, it's upstairs. What? CD joint.
It is. And I meant it.
It's all good. We'll save it for next week.
I want to get that.
You gonna get it?
Phone text because it's on the computer. And
my phone's there. They are watching us through my phone.
It's gonna take me 5 seconds.
All right, Sherm is gonna go get something.
Brief exit.
Yeah. So while he's doing that, I'm gonna hit y'all with a couple updates, man. There was a lot happening today, so bear with us. You know what I mean? So real quick, I'm gonna go through, read some of these comments. So we said, somebody said, finally, Substantial Sundays working. Welcome back, sir. Thank you, I appreciate it. All right, Andrew says, will this place in some of your older music videos? So, hey, that's a great question. This actually wasn't in any of my music videos. However, anytime you've seen like a photo of me at a barbershop in the last, I want to say, year or so, maybe 2 years you've been running this joint?
Out of here? 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, 2 years.
I think this summer will be 2 years.
So yeah, so if you've seen any of the photos I posted on IG, Facebook, Twitter of me either just getting a haircut or video while I was getting a haircut, it was more than likely in this spot. However, If you're referring to like old music videos, like you're talking about, It's You, I think. So yeah, this was the same brother, but it was a different shot. You know what I mean? Both of us had locks then. Just to put it in perspective how old that was, you know?
And a lot less gray.
Yeah, a lot less gray. A lot less gray, you know what I'm saying? So it says, word up, saying Sherm and all right? Vegas, the hometown, NYC. All right, so we got Vegas up in here by way of, or I should say, we got NYC up in here by way of Vegas. All right, video game is fire. That's what's up. Hey man, thank y'all. I'm glad y'all been checking out the video game. Renee, I'm so excited for that joint to be on the Switch. You know what I mean? That's gonna be super dope. All right, so I'm gonna hit up this agenda real quick. My man printed out the agenda. You know what I'm saying?
I just wanted to be prepared.
Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we just need, we're going to get like a little rolling table or whatever so we can have like a little broadcast news joint, you know what I'm saying? You know, like a teleprompter back here, my daughter holding cue cards, you know what I'm saying? Be super legit. So, oh man, it's like, I kind of want to ask Sherm, I've been talking for a minute. So I just, I want to ask Sherm some questions, just kind of to get started. And plus, if y'all got questions for Shamar, man, like either by himself or like you kind of want to get the scoop on things that maybe I won't tell y'all about, and maybe he know and he, you know, throw me under the bus real quick. You know what I'm saying? So definitely send in your questions. We'll try to scroll back through and catch all of them. But I just want to know how you feel, man. You know what I mean? Like we've done this before, obviously, but it's official. Like we're going to do this continuously.
I was hoping you were going to ask me.
Right.
All this week has been feeling like the first day of school.
Right.
And you got your first pair of Jordans. You got your best pair of Guess jeans. And what shirt? You got your first polo shirt.
Wow.
I've been feeling like that all week. Like this is the beginning. This is the beginning of awesomeness right here. I've been so excited, man. Like real stuff. I've been so excited, man.
Yeah, and so part of the reason why I asked Shamar to start co-hosting this with me, because man, like for those of you who've ever gone to a barbershop, like some of the best conversations in the world happen in barbershops, right? Some like, you know, I'm sure even if you haven't really gone to a barbershop, if you've seen like the movie Barbershop or like little like the joint on Chappelle's show or whatever, when he goes into a shop.
Some of the latest episodes of Atlanta.
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, bro. Like so you kind of know what goes down and you kind of get a glimpse of it. And so anyway, I've been telling Shamar for years, I'm like, dude, you should totally have like your own show, man. I was telling him, I was like, you do a joint called Shop Talk. And it would be dope. I know I would watch it, you know what I'm saying? And I think that once people kind of saw his personality, they definitely would want to tune in. And so then when I was trying to figure out a new format for Substantial Sundays, I was like, man, how about we just bring Chef Shop to Substantial Sundays?
I really appreciate that, man. It's like, what you gonna do?
Right.
I was like, what you gonna do, dog? You've been faking all this time. What you gonna do now?
Right, you know? So yeah, man, super excited to have you here, bro. So and said, so let's see what someone says right here. Andrew was like, yeah, it was looking right now that the mushy, but it said, oh, okay, gotcha, yeah, good shit. Thank you. All right.
Why not popping up like yours?
Yeah, well, I got headquarters happening.
You got a whole little combo.
My whole little situation
screen.
You know what I'm saying?
Come up when they feel like.
Right. But again, if you haven't shared it yet, make sure you share it via Facebook, Twitter, whatever platform you're using, whatever social media platform you're on, please share it. All right. So look, we're gonna talk about a couple things, man. Obviously, I'm gonna get into some updates and stuff regarding me, but we've been having a lot of different conversations about some different stuff, man. And so I think one of the first things you're probably gonna jump into, because I had posted something on IG earlier this week in reference to the Kanye stuff. But instead of addressing Kanye directly, I focused more on something that he said in a quote that came from this brother, I want to say Mark Lamont or whatever, who's a correspondent for Huffington Post and a lot of different things. You've seen him speaking on black issues on like CNN and a long list of other places. And the brother always had something powerful to offer. So he had put a quote where he was just basically saying how like throughout history, black people have consistently like fought to be free. You know what I mean? And just basically was just kind of just really talk about how ridiculous this whole idea of what Kanye was talking about, like where he says like slavery sounds like a choice. You know what I mean? And so I don't know if y'all really kind of watch how I maneuver online. Like I'm real selective about what I comment on. Not so much because I'm on the spectator tip or whatever. Like for those of you who don't know, I do a lot of youth work. I do a lot of community work and stuff. And so because I'm always out here and I'm having these conversations constantly throughout my day with young people all day long, and brothers like this one. And my wife and obviously other people I come in contact with, when I get online, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like part of the reason why I log on sometimes is for escape, you know what I mean? And so, because the reality of it is some people only deal with that stuff online. They're not out here constantly dealing with the repercussions of what people are saying or what people are doing. On the other hand, it's like we're working with kids. Like every time some bad news comes across the news or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, or someone says something wild, I'm dealing with people's children and how they're processing it and then trying to help them get through it. So I don't always jump online and do a whole lot of that just because of my personal life is no escaping it, right? And so anyway, but for this one time, I felt like when I saw his quote, I was like, damn, that summed up pretty much, everything I had to say. So I'm gonna bring up the quote real quick and then we'll go into it from there. Let me go through all of this. Bang, bang. Here it is. So this is from Mark Lamont Hill. All right. The quote is, "There has never been a moment in history when black people didn't resist slavery. Some did it by jumping off ships. Some killed masters. Some ran away. Some did it through everyday forms of resistance. Slave masters didn't retire. Our resistance led to our freedom." All right. And so what I added to his quote, I basically was like, some did it by learning to read even when it meant they could be killed. And the list goes on. So there's a long list of things that people did before and are still doing, because people are still fighting for their freedom now. It's just interesting to me how reckless people can be. And I also understand that, like, Kanye is like the ultimate troll, dog. Like he's like super troll. And another person who's kind of like that is 50. You know what I mean? 50 has kind of historically been like, he doesn't necessarily say stuff that's as outlandish as Kanye, but he's like the ultimate troll. This is like, it's how he's consistently worked his records. Yeah, that's how he stays relevant. That's how he's worked his records. So I want to know, what were your thoughts? Like when you first heard it, what were you thinking? So
when I first heard it, let me first start off by prefacing anything that I may say. I'm probably not going to say anything too crazy about Kanye, but mental illness is a real thing. Like it is absolutely real. And I feel like if you are black in America, there is absolutely no way you don't suffer from some sort of mental illness. With the comment that Kanye has been making, I'm not mad at Kanye anymore. I actually feel, the more and more I hear from him, the more sorry I feel for the dude, because it's just more evidence that this dude is not well. You don't go from It All Falls Down, crack music, all these songs, and just jump right off the ledge into slavery for over 400 years. Sounds like a choice. I mean, it's like it's wild because, like, as a hip hop fan, this really hurts. Like, legitimately, it hurts, because this is like when Kanye was first introduced. Like, it was like he was like one of the keystones in the structure of hip hop at the time. So for him to do what he's doing now, it's hurtful. But at the same time, I can't be mad at him because he's not well. So. When I said a long time ago, when Jesus first came out, I tried to tell everybody, I was like, yo, R.I.P. Kanye West. It's like, Kanye's done. You will never hear anything Kanye like his genius, like all of this anything you think of Kanye, it is gone. Like the dude made a song featuring God. If that is not the most audacious and arrogant thing you can do. So at that point, I was like, oh yeah, this dude, he's losing it because he thinks he has transcended the culture. He thinks he's bigger than the music.
Wow.
So I already knew he was on his way down. So this right now, this is him. Like the sunken place is a real place. The sunken place is nothing but you being lost in your mental illness. And he is obviously in the sunken place. I mean, I don't know if anyone has seen the interview with Charlemagne.
I tried like twice. I couldn't.
You can't get through it. The dude is gone, man. He's gone. And you see Charlemagne like, I think and no knock on Charlemagne because I think he's genuine in what he's doing, but I don't think it's fair when people sit in front of Kanye and act like they're still talking to Kanye. You're not talking to Kanye anymore. You're talking to Kanye, like it's like you're talking to a brand. He thinks that he is the ultimate contrarian. He only has the views that he has because he thinks that if he believes the popular, if he follows popular thought, then he's a regular person. So whatever everyone else is thinking, oh no, I just think the opposite because I'm a genius. I can't think like y'all.
Right.
So I mean, like I said, man,
I also feel like sometimes he introduces stuff like it's an original thought.
But
I feel like that's for a lot of people who are kind of trapped in their bubble. You know what I mean? Like whereas you're not maybe in contact with like great thinkers or like I'm not saying he's surrounded completely by idiots. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, his whole family idiots.
I can't speak on it because I don't know him personally. You know what I'm saying? But like I feel like if you're constantly in your bubble and you're not having certain conversations every day, then like when you think of certain things, it feels like something groundbreaking. But the reality of it is, people
just ain't talking enough.
Man, he ain't talking to enough folks, and he's not necessarily paying attention to enough progressive people around him. I wanted to say this real quick because I know I mentioned it to you before. And then the last time we had this talk or whatever, you were saying like, man, I remember when you mentioned that about Rhymefest, what he said. And shout out to my man Telepathy who's in here right now because he was the dude who actually filmed it when we did it. But anyway, the word to get thrown around a lot with Kanye outside of crazy and mental illness these days. Like at one point in time, we used to throw the word genius around a lot when we talk about this dude. And I had the pleasure of sitting on this panel with Rhymefest, and I might have said this on Substantial Sundays before, so forgive me if it's a repeat for some of y'all. But I'm checking on the babies, right? So, but basically, what Rhymefest said, he was like, yo, he believed that genius is a spirit, right? Like he said, like he was basically saying genius is not an individual, right? Genius oftentimes lives in collaboration. So if you're a person or whatever who's surrounding yourself with other great minds who inspire you to do certain things and inspire you to create, step outside of your comfort zones, better yourself, then you're tapping into the spirit of genius, right? But basically the moment that you decide that like you yourself are a genius and that genius is an individual thing, he's like, that's oftentimes where the spirit of genius leaves.
Yeah, and it's gone.
Right. It's gone. Man, when he said that, dude, like that
was it was like, oh, that's it. That's the answer. That is the answer. No.
Dude, like when he said that, man, it was powerful. And it made me look at dude very different. Not Rhymefest, but Kanye. And other great minds, you know what I mean? Other people who kind of bought into the idea that they, the individual, were the reason that they were, so great, and not necessarily the company that they kept who was helping them produce that same thing. Like, and if you're a person like me or any artist or whatever who kind of came up with a certain individual, in my case, Nujabes, you know what I mean? Oftentimes people speak of Nujabes and how brilliant he is, you know what I mean? And how much a genius he was and a long list of other people. And they oftentimes, when they do that, they glaze over they sometimes glaze over all of these great people that were surrounding these individuals. You know what I mean? They had great teams. They had great people around them that was inspiring them. Sometimes guiding them. Sometimes holding their hand through the process. Sometimes picking these dudes up when they fell. And
you can even look at like as crazy of an artist as a Basquiat. He even had his influence.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody does. So I can't think of any genius throughout history. I mean, like every one of these people had educators. They had a long list of other people who contributed to their greatness, and so it's never a solo act. You know what I mean? It's always, genius thrives in collaboration. So I think this is probably a great way to segue into like some self promo real quick. Right. So look, cause I know a lot of y'all don't tune in to hear me and obviously Sherm and anybody else I've had here only kind of talk about everyone else. A lot of y'all are rocking with it because of the fact that you support what I do. And so in talking about the spirit of collaboration and the spirit of genius, like the project. So I just finished my first instrumental project, as he goes to put on some background music. And so, he's going to grab some. So check this out. So what he's holding right now is the finished version of the CD version of the project. It's also on vinyl too. And so the reason why I brought it up right now is because it's by definition, it's a solo project, but the reality of it is musically when people hear it and hopefully appreciate what it is and have great feedback or negative feedback, whatever, for it. Oh, he's gonna show it off a little bit.
Make sure you ask me what I think about this.
Okay, I will. So I want people to know in advance, I'm very proud of the project, but I had some amazing people to contribute to the project. We just dropped a single featuring Uyama Hiroto. So shout out to that brother. And if y'all haven't heard it yet, I'll make sure you check the link in the description. It should be in there. But peace, family. That's what's up. We got somebody from Spain up in here.
Oh,
appreciate it, man. All right, I'm gonna get to your question in a second. And so I say all that to say I hope you all love the project, but more importantly, the people who I work with on the project, some of them y'all already support, but make sure you support these other people. Make sure when you showing love or whatever, that you recognize those other folks who contributed on some of these tracks. There are some tracks on it where it's completely me. And then there are tracks like the one like Uyama played on, my homegirl Steph the Sapphic Songstress, who now goes by Stephanie Gale. She sung on it on tracks. My man Mason Lieberman contributed. Shout out to Malcolm Jackson, who's playing marimba, playing vibraphone and xylophone on the project. Contributed to the bass line of another joint, my man Definition. And so, man, shout out to all these great musicians, because the reality of it is these are people who I learned from when I watch them play, because I'm not classically trained, but they're also they're inspiration for me, I see what they do and it inspires me to be better. Obviously, rest in peace to Nujabes. Shout out to people like Odyssey, my man No, Tone Deaf, Kokai, and a long list of other dope producers who I've worked with. My man Algorithm, of course, and Marcus D as well. These are all people I learned from. So when you hear the project, man, I appreciate all the love in advance, but understand, I learned from some great people, man, and I've worked with some amazing artists, and they are very much deserving of as much credit as anyone would want to give me for making what I make. You know what I mean? So thanks in advance for those to those of you who are planning to support the project. Yada yada yada. So anyway. Sherm said he wanted to express how he wanted to talk about his thoughts on the project and all of that. And it's a photo album too. So all the photos, the photography that you see with the project was all me. Just trying to utilize some of what I learned in school, man. When I was taking photography classes and stuff as a youngin'. So yeah. So Sherm, thoughts?
So yeah. First of all, shout outs to this feng shui ass. Coffee table ass album cover. This shit is dope.
Feng shui? You mean
feng shui like a mug?
You said feng shui.
Feng shui. This is the album cover is dope. Like you will never put this back in. I don't purchase CDs anymore because that's just people don't really use CDs. But I recommend purchasing this CD because it is beautiful. Like it's just a really pretty piece of art. Like even I put the disc. I'm taking the disc out because it's not working on my DVD player. I'm gonna show you this disc. Even the disc is pretty. Give me the disc back. So this is the disc. You won't even want to put that in the CD player. I don't know if you can see that. It's gorgeous. Like that's a real photo. It's dope. But the music.
Appreciate it, man.
This shit is like if you're on your downtime driving, like this is the everything vibe music. Like it feels so good. Like I showered to it this afternoon, and that's funny. But that is showering and driving. If I can shower and drive to your music, that is some good shit.
Not at the same time, though.
Of course not at the same time.
But if they made a car that could do that, that would be amazing. Half the world would not be late to work.
Everyone would.
The car would drive itself.
And then
you'd be showering and you probably electrocute yourself. Somebody died.
Someone would.
But it does sound like someone figured that out. Continue.
So yeah, it is for anything. Like the vibe is it's like a mixture of everything. Upbeat, chill, like you can do everything to it. Like this is a perfect piece of work here. I wouldn't mind if you kept doing this and stop rapping. Like that's how good this is. You could stop rapping and just make instrumental CDs. And I'm this is my man and everything, but I'm into music. I don't mess around with music. I don't just put something because it's my man. Put this in and then when you holler at me later outside the cameras, I'm like, yeah, that shit is alright, man. After a while, it's a couple tracks on there I listen to. Like, no, this shit is absolutely dope.
Thank you.
Purchase it. Don't do anything but purchase a real copy. Get the CD. It feels better when you have the CD.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. Was it those of you who pre-ordered it, the copies are gonna start shipping out early. We're gonna start shipping out this week, so look out for that. Also, we will have it did come out on vinyl, or is coming out on vinyl as well. Vinyl's gonna release a little bit later. I'm still waiting for something from the manufacturer so I can announce that to y'all. The pre-orders for the vinyl have sold out. However, part of the reason why they sold out is because a couple stores in Europe bought a lot of copies. And so once those go up, I'll be sure to let you all know so you can order your copies from them. And then also I may have a few autographed copies that will go up on Bandcamp because of some people whose situation fell through with their pre-orders. So I'll keep you all posted on that. But thanks to everybody, man, who's been supporting. I'm gonna get to some questions real quick. Well, first, shout out to Badass Don from England. That's what's up, England over here. And then what's it? Ashish, I think I'm saying your name right, asks, what instruments would you like to sample or try to put into a track? Would you like to try to use erhu or shamisen? I'm gonna look those up because I don't know what they are, so I don't want to say I wouldn't sample it. But I mean, one of my favorite things is, and it's funny, man, now that I've been working with the homie Malcolm Jackson, I probably won't be sampling it anytime soon. But my favorite instrument is the xylophone. So when Malcolm Jackson hit me up saying he wanted to play on my tracks for the instrumental album, and then I asked him what instrument he played, and he was sending me covers of some of me and Marcus D's songs, but him doing covers on the xylophone, son. I'm like, young, that's my favorite instrument, dog. Like, so, and like, if I wasn't working with him, there'd probably be like maybe 3 to 5 xylophone samples on the album, but you don't hear them because there's actual live xylophone, live marimba, live vibraphone on the album because of this dude.
They're not ready, dog. They're not ready. I mean, people, your fans aren't ready, dog.
Right.
That's real. They're not ready.
That's what's up, man. Hey, so yeah, man. So I hope that answered your question. I mean, other instruments, I love a great piano sample. I love horns. I love like sampling any type of horns for real. I have yet to find a great tuba sample. If I find a great tuba sample, just so I can say, hey son, but wait for this tuba sample. When this tuba sample drops, son, you know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't had that moment, but I want to be able to say that. So when it happens, there's gonna be a whole video dedicated to the tuba sample, son. It's gonna be crazy. Let me see something. Said if it was raining and you had a drop top. So I think he was referring to something else. It said, awesome, I need that album on vinyl. Definitely, Barry, I'll keep you posted. Mason Lieberman, ladies and gentlemen, clap it up for him. You know what I'm saying? Mason Lieberman's up in here, Boston's up in here. Mason Lieberman played cello and electric guitar on one of the tracks on the album. So shout out to him and thank you, brother. Song sounds amazing, man. And he's also the brother who I sampled for Renee, for the soundtrack, the song I did One Way or Another. He's the brother who sent me, like, he's the one playing most of the instruments on that on that track. So those of you who supported the campaign for Renee, thank y'all, man. If you have not heard that track yet, I'll be sure to post that link a little later, or you can go to iamsubstantial.com and go check out this song called One Way or Another, where I had to. Hey, son, it's real out here, son. Trying to get it fixed, man. You know what I'm saying? I apologize to y'all, but we're back. So look, give us 1 second. We're gonna get set back up. It was wild. Sherm, tell them what happened, son.
The system crashed.
The system crashed, son.
On some real whack stuff.
Yeah, man. They trying to stop us, B. You know what I'm saying? We get quality, we get some quality footage. You know what I'm saying? We got some great lighting. Life was good. We was shining out here in these streets.
The man came and got us right.
You know what I'm saying?
Can't stop us though.
Can't stop, won't stop, take it.
So look, hey man, look, I'm gonna get back to this agenda so we can try to wrap this up.
We're at Renee.
Yeah, we're talking about Renee.
Don't even miss a beat.
Look, there you go. So look, hey man, to those of y'all who stuck around and hung in there, thank you. You know what I mean? Once again, if you can, share the link or whatever, get folks back up in here, give them heads up, let them know we're still going. And our apologies, man. So listen, so other things we were going to mention. Oh, we had some recommendations for y'all, right? So basically, this, like, to keep with the whole theme of Shop Talk, like, we talk music all the time, we talk movies all the time as well. So we're going to kind of breeze through these just in case. You know what I'm saying? Just in case. But like 2 albums we've been talking a lot about, obviously outside of my music, man. One of the joints we were talking about probably not this week, but like a week or 2 before, we were talking about Saba's new project, Care For Me. Yeah. Yo, it's funny, when he first put me on the Saba, I was just like, yeah, it's cool. You know what I mean? But I wasn't like blown away. You know what I mean?
Sleeping.
And I wouldn't say it was sleeping, because I knew I could hear he was dope. Like, I was like, I can hear he can rhyme, but it just didn't hit me. Like, I wasn't blown away, I should say. Right? But when I heard the new joint, and after listening to the old one a few more times and stuff, there were certain songs that spoke to me more as I listened to it. And I was like, this dude's dope. But the new joint, man, yeah, the new joint, I don't know, I got to go back and listen to the old one again before I can just say, yeah, it's better. But like, you know what it is?
That's more important.
Yeah.
It's more important than the last one.
Dude, the track, don't say it. Oh my God, the last song, the Heaven joint, it's Heaven All Around Me, Youngin'. That song, bro. So
yeah,
I'm
getting chills right now.
Yeah. I love it. Oh, I got a story for you. Short story. I'm trying to keep it short so we don't lose y'all again. And I'm trying to monitor the sea as well. And I appreciate y'all for coming back in, man. Dude, the joint, so the Heaven All Around Me joint, I had one of my former students hit me up, right? She basically hits me up. She was having some relationship issues and stuff. Her and her twin sister kind of look at me like a father figure. They call me Papa Rob. That's what they call me and stuff. And so she hit me up. She's talking to me about this relationship stuff. And you know, and I basically was just like, yo, if he didn't blah blah blah, if he doesn't respect you, he doesn't this, so on and so forth, he's not worth your tears. You know what I mean? He lift your chin up, blah blah blah. And then she always, her sister, and a lot of folks I work with, students or whatever, they always talk music with me. So she was like, you know of any songs that make me feel a little bit better? So yo, one of the songs I sent her was Saba joint. Heaven All Around Me, son. And she hit me back almost instant. She was like, oh my God, the song is so good.
That song is amazing.
Son.
It's an amazing
You know what I mean?
song.
And like, I'm getting goosebumps as I mention it. Like, it's, yeah.
Since it's come out, whenever I'm having some, like, one of them iffy kind of days, like, I gotta hear that song.
That's a great way to start your day, man. Like, that joint, there's heaven all around me. There's heaven all around me. That joint is dope.
And it's not even necessarily the best song on the project.
Right. Like, my other joint, I like Calligraphy. That one's really dope. I like, Life. Oh, my God. Life, my joint, that the second I drop off the wife and kid.
Oh, my God.
You know what I'm saying? They get out the car, I'm like,
that's when you turn your head back, take your shirt off, roll all the windows down and go bananas.
You know what I'm saying? One leg out you with just wilding, son. You know what I mean? Like that joint. Yeah, man. His project is dope. It's really, really dope, man. So shout out to Saba. Keep making the great music, youngin', man. Like, yeah, you doing it. And I know you've seen him live a couple times.
Yeah, a couple times, yeah. He's my favorite young artist.
Oh, wow.
He's definitely my favorite young artist.
That's what's up.
Because his approach to the situation in Chicago is a lot different than a lot of the artists that you're going to hear from Chicago. Like it just gives you a different feel. It's a different soul from Chicago. Like, you know, you got other artists. They kind of paint like a real. It's almost like surface level picture of what's going on. Like it's either, you know, really positive or it's just really dark and hood. But like he's like a balance.
Yeah.
And it's like and the way the production helps, it's just like a real crazy kind of moving portrait, the whole album.
Wow.
It's dope.
Yeah, he's really dope, man. I like him a lot. So something that just dropped on Friday.
I just pooped. Because I know what you're about to say. I just pooped just now. I pooped.
Oh my God, son.
Oh God.
Dog, Book of Ryan, son.
Book of Flames.
Book of Flames.
Book of Jesus Christ. Book of what the fuck.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, man, we both been rocking with Royce a long time. You know, since college years, man. And, you know, Royce is just one of them dudes, man, that, like, easily one of the greatest spitters to ever do it, man. And I feel like with these last few projects, man, he's gotten to that point where he's making some of the best music of his career. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not like it hasn't had dope joints before, but I'm talking about like cohesive albums, like his clarity right now, dog. In terms of like him executing what he want to talk about, the theme throughout the records, like, yeah, like he's on another wavelength right now, man. Like, and he coming to town too. Yeah, what was it, June 2nd? He's gonna be at the Howard Theater. So you know who we gonna holler at.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, we got to be in there.
Yeah.
And
so,
even if you can, I'm going to
that show. One way or the
There's
other.
no way. I'm going to that show for sure.
Look, I intentionally didn't schedule a show I was gonna do that day because I saw he had a show that night. And I was just like, I don't know if I want to rap. I feel like I just want to be a fan.
Man.
You know what I mean? Unless they saying they want me to rap before he rap. And I hope they put an act or two between us. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, I mean I can spit, but I don't. Yeah, he's just a barbarian with it.
I'm rocking a diaper and waterproof pants to that show.
Yo, man. I mean, definitely. If any of y'all are fans too of either one of the artists we mentioned, man, drop some comments about them as well. Who's it? So who we got here?
Where they at? They got.
They probably in Europe or somewhere. In that hemisphere.
Awesome.
I mean, somewhere on that side. Peace to you, man. But thank you for tuning in, man. Definitely come back, and like we're still gonna be around for a few more minutes, so you can come back when the video's officially uploaded to my channel, just to check out what you missed. All right, and be sure to go through the description and get the links and all of that, so you can get further information on upcoming stuff and all that good stuff. So yeah, man. But Royce albums, great. Go ahead. We can give your quick synopsis of the project. Favorite joints. You know what I mean?
Favorite joints. Right off the top of my head, since I don't have the track list in front of me, one of them is definitely well, favorite joints. It's like this album's gonna have a few different categories. You got cocaine is one of them.
Woo! Cocaine is crazy.
Cocaine is so crazy.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Oh my god!
And a hell of a song.
That is that joint is dope. The first song is inappropriate. It is absolutely woke. It's absolutely inappropriate.
Oh, and before I forget, when he comes to Howard Theater on the second, he's coming with Premiere.
Oh God!
So
yeah,
it's a prime and
that's a mandate.
Yeah.
We're going. That is a mandate.
We're there. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see what else you got. You got Stay Woke, Craziness.
Yeah. Godspeed.
Godspeed. Well, look, the easiest way to do it is let's talk about the shortcomings. Let's talk about the bad songs. So you've got this one song.
Yeah.
There's no bad songs, but there's this one song that is
very disappointing.
It's a skipper. It's worth skipping because the rest of the album is body bags, and this joint is just like this joint is just like okay, you could have put this on a Funkmaster Flex mixtape, and that would have been cool.
And so the reason why though is disappointing is because like it's rare that you see Jadakiss, Fabulous, Royce, and Pusha T listed on the same track, and so instantly you see those names like these dudes are all legends, right? So off top, I'm like, okay. You know, I mean, granted, they've all made some songs or whatever in their career at some point that's been lackluster, but I don't expect them to all get on a track and that track be the weak or one of the weakest songs on the album. You know what I mean? If not the weakest.
It's the weakest.
Yeah.
It's the weakest.
And the thing is, it's not even like it's garbage. It's like it's in the context of the album.
Yeah,
like the album is so good.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's such a crazy album that track just feels skippable. And so the funny thing is, if it was on a mixtape, you probably be like, this joint cool.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean?
When you hear the rest of this body of work, you're gonna look at that track like, oh God, like this. It should have been a bonus track.
Legendary.
Legendary. With the boing boing sound.
The boing
Listening
boing.
to the boing boing is gonna drive you crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah, man. And then it's the other joint. Damn it, there's so many.
The whole album is a favorite song.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a different song every week. Like
personal fave. One of my and it's not even like it's the best song musically, but that joint "Strong Friend," son. Like dog, like I'm sitting there listening to that joint and like the single tear, I'm like, oh nigga,
yeah,
dog, like because it's like we all got those folks, you know what I mean? Like who we look at that way, you know what I mean? We probably look at each other like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Until you had that talk one day, it's like, oh shit,
yeah, had no idea.
You need a hug this time,
right. They bring it in, bro. You know what I mean? Like "Strong Friend" is a great song, man. Great message. Yeah, man. I just feel like this dude. Like right now in his career, man, he can't do no wrong. Like he's making dog, like how many people this late in their career, especially in rap, let's speak on that, like especially in rap music, dudes like this late in their career making like some of the greatest music this dude's ever made. Like, you know, and again, I mean, folks ain't gotta agree. I've been listening to this dude since like the late 90s. So you know, I mean, I feel like
you don't have to agree because you don't just jump off a bridge.
Right. He said you don't have to agree, just jump off a bridge. So yeah, man. But like, yeah, Royce, man, he's definitely doing it. Hey, Hugh, thanks for tuning in. Where you watching from? Also, man, if some of y'all have checked out some of these projects and stuff, or you got some other projects that maybe we haven't talked about or whatever, or maybe you want to hear us talk about in the future, definitely throw us a line. And so we're gonna switch it from music to movies and documentaries and all that good stuff. So the brother asked me to watch something, and I didn't even know it came out. And I think it's probably because a lot of people might have been trying to not give her any support, which makes a lot of sense. But it's definitely a great film. It's a documentary called The Rachel Divide. And so it's about, what's it, Rachel? How do you pronounce it?
Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah. So it's about her and the situation with her lying about being black and but then the fallout after. And that movie, man, Yeah, if you have not seen that documentary, definitely check it out. All right, he was actually tuning in from France. All right, that's
please.
what's up, man. And thank you for supporting the work, yo. We appreciate it. Smooth, peace to you. It's all good. You might have missed them before, but you're here with us today, and that's what counts. So right now we're talking about these. We're gonna talk about this documentary, and then we're gonna talk about this this movie real quick, and then we're gonna get into some updates dealing with both our careers and what we do, and some important information for y'all to support what we're doing. You know what I mean? So we was talking about the movie. What was your takeaway? And for those of you who don't know about her, you got to be in a bubble because I mean, and then let me stop acting like the USA is the center of the universe as well. Because I know a lot of y'all are tuning in from different parts of the world, so you might not know about it. But basically, this woman was lying. She was basically saying that she was not like that. She was African American or she was black. She was pretending to be. She was literally president of the NAACP, a chapter in Spokane, Washington. Okay, and but she was a white woman who was pretending to be a black woman, and so yeah, that is. You want to talk about what privilege look like? You know what I'm saying, and be able to exercise that privilege to kind of use it in ways that people maybe don't think to use every day. But yeah, she definitely was doing that and was milking it. And so, what was your takeaway from the movie? Though I'm just interested because you're the one told me to watch it. So, yeah.
Again, man, my takeaway from this was people need help.
Yeah.
Like that's the takeaway. Yes, yeah. Right. Because you get behind the cameras and the media paints perception, and it makes people look like one thing when that's absolutely the polar opposite of what's going on. I don't necessarily feel like what she was doing. I don't know that it's really conscious on a sane level, I guess. Because after seeing the movie and seeing all of the traumatic things that she's endured,
right.
I think her saying that she's black was due to the treatment that she saw from her. Like I was telling you last night, being that her adopted brother and sister were being mistreated.
Spoilers. Sorry. Spoilers.
Oh man,
Spoilers.
Should I not be saying this? Should I?
Not
should
too
I
much
kind of
detail.
pull back?
Yeah, not too much detail.
All right. Well,
sorry guys.
She's just she's really hurt, man, and the issues with her family, I think it caused it seems like a lot of times when people are being evaluated, the person that's evaluating them is looking for that moment when they snap. And that's usually how they can help the person deal with that issue. And I think that was the moment that she snapped. Because when you look at what was going on, nothing that she was doing was not genuine.
Right.
It was all genuine. She wasn't profiting. She wasn't looking to. She wasn't looking. I don't feel like she was looking to become a star or anything. I think she was really looking to help the cause. But she just you just can't do that.
I think it might have started that way, but I think at some point the vibe I was getting at was that at some point along the way of her just trying to help or whatever, she started to like how it actually felt, like the attention she got.
But I don't think it's coming from a sane mind though. I think
I don't doubt that.
So it's like it feels like it's normal. It feels like what I'm doing is for this.
Right. But it's like self-medicating almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like people who don't do drugs might look at you for doing drugs like you're crazy, but the reality of it is if you're hurting and this particular drug or this action or this thing that you're doing makes you feel better, you're doing something that other people don't understand ultimately to help, I guess, heal whatever you went through, but make yourself feel better. My man said one time or whatever that literally his dealer said to him, because he had some habits or whatever, and he was like, his dealer said to him, he was like, after he had a major loss, he was like, yo, you want to hurt for 18 hours or you want to hurt for 24? that right there, like young, I was that dude deserved drug dealer of the year award. Son. That was like the
That's a hell of a
quote.
quote.
He was like, "Yo, you want to hurt for 18 hours?"
This is
or
definitely
24?
not advocating any drug use. But
Yeah, and I don't even know if that was the exact amount of hours he said. Whatever drug he had lasted a certain amount of hours, and that was the point. He was like, "Young, you're gonna be high for this amount of time. You won't have to think about none of that shit you're going through right now."
you should, and that's why you should never really judge people.
Yeah, because you don't know what they've gone through.
Yeah.
And so, and that was a major takeaway from me, because it was kind of like, ultimately, why would anyone in this country, in the USA, why would anyone here want to pretend like they were black, considering what black people have to go through?
Especially when you're already white.
Right. You know what I mean? Like there's a yo, shout out to Paul Mooney, one of the greatest comics of all time. The dude Paul Mooney has a line where he talks about whenever he sees a homeless white person, he says, "What a waste." He's like, "What a terrible waste of white flesh." You know what I'm saying? Dog, like it's such a messed up line. But yo, when you're watching the documentary, that line basically it made me I thought of Paul Mooney, because it's just like, yo, here you are, a woman who basically, as he would also put, you have the complexion for the protection. However, because of certain things you've experienced in your life, you're deciding to pretend like something you're not. And I think initially maybe her real and you'll understand when you see the movie if you decide to watch it, because I know a lot of people don't want to support anything dealing with her, and I can respect that. But look, when you know what her experience is, you start to understand why she would do that. Not saying you're going to agree.
Yeah, you're not going to agree with,
but you're going to understand.
You will understand.
Yeah, you will understand.
Like I don't support anything that she did other than trying to help us out. But yeah, after that, it's like, yeah, you just can't. Oh, and the ending. Ending.
We can really
love that.
Yeah,
you are gonna love the ending.
Ending is what happened. You're gonna burst into flames.
Oh man. With anger.
So two quick things. Shout out to Calvin. Calvin's tuning in from Cali. He's a diehard supporter, man. I appreciate the love. And Denise, peace to you. So for those of you who just tuning in and don't know what we're talking about, we're basically talking about the movie, the documentary, The Racial Divide, about Rachel I always mess up her last name.
Dolezal. Somebody wants to name the spelling.
Okay, got you. Name of the documentary here, you got it. The Racial Divide. I got it. Yeah. Bang. There it is.
And please understand, like, don't watch this thinking that we're saying like, oh, you're gonna feel like it's just really interesting, and you'll just really understand what you were seeing, and you weren't seeing what the media was trying to paint. It's like a whole story behind it. Like it's a really interesting watch.
Yeah, I feel for the kids. I feel for her kids, her children. I didn't necessarily feel pity for her. I understood why I understood her a little bit better, right? I absolutely understand like my people's frustration. You know what I'm saying? Like, because ultimately it's just like, it's the ultimate demonstration of privilege. You know what I'm saying? Like being in the position to just be like, oh, no, I'm this. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless I got Michael Jackson money, I can't flip a switch and automatically just become white, dog, or like it just don't. It's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got Michael Jackson money out here. I can't do that. And but my major takeaway was this quote from Farrakhan. They had a clip where they showed Louis Farrakhan in there, and he's speaking to an audience of black Muslims, and he was like, "Yo, y'all angry with her because she picked up what y'all trying to throw away." Oh my God! Like, don't get it twisted. The vast majority of black people that I spend my time with are proud of our heritage, of our culture, of what we've accomplished, in spite of certain circumstances, and very much proud to be people of African descent who happen to live in this country. But I do come across, right, like some people who are ashamed of our quote-unquote blackness, you know what I mean? People like, people like...
Some that don't even know it, though.
Yeah, self-hate.
Those are the worst.
Self-hate sometimes is a blinding thing. Like, you don't understand, like, how much you truly hate yourself and others who look like you sometimes or whatever until it's really talk to you in a way that like, oh my God, I didn't even realize that's what I was doing. And I feel like if I keep quoting Farrakhan, y'all gonna think, I'm up in the mosque every day. I'm not, but like the man drops gems every now and then, and I'm just like, sometimes I agree. But there's another joint like that deals with self-hate that he says, not in this film, but he said, when you hate your brother in whom is the essence of God, you are hating God. Yet you love God whom you've never seen, and hate your brother in whom God is, and you see him every day. That is, bruh. When I first heard that quote, I was 15, maybe 16 years old. Like, it stuck with me the rest of my life. Like, I'll never, and that changed. That, again, you cannot like the man, you cannot agree with certain things he said or done, all of that. But those words, there's power behind those words. There's truth in what he's saying. And the same thing with the quote from the movie, man, like, about, like, on the continent, in Africa, in various countries in Africa, there are certain people who are literally trying to bleach their skin. Here in the United States or whatever, there are literally people, both Americans or West Indian or people who are from the continent, who are still like attempting to bleach their skin, and not, but understand it's not coming from a place of privilege, and that's where the disparity is. That's where the hate is, and that's where we're using the wrong words. That's where the frustration is with people when they see what she's doing. You know what I mean? Like, because it's just like, ultimately we're doing this because we're constantly told we're not good enough. You see what I'm saying? And I think when you hear her story, you see the place where she was coming from with it. It's coming from a different place. So that's why she probably doesn't see it as privilege and doesn't see that, and she's a little off. She's definitely a little off. You know what I mean? There's something more to what she's going through, yo. But yeah, anyway, we could be on that for forever. Someone said make a video when you play Barney Simulator.
I think that's an advertisement or something.
Right. I don't know.
Joints, game jokes.
Right. Yeah. So in a second, like I'm gonna have to look up what you're talking about later just to confirm. But I don't know what you're talking about there. So just tread lightly. All right. Let's see. Oh, so yeah. So and then those of you who saw Infinity War. We're gonna try to be quick though, because we gotta get to this other stuff, and we'll be here like for 2 hours, and I ain't trying to do that. So this brother, right? So I saw Infinity War probably the day after it came out, right? I called up Sherm, Sherm called me, and we were talking about something, and I'm like, he's like, what you think of the movie? I'm like, bruh, like the way I feel, I could go see it again tomorrow. Like, he's like, that good, man? I'm like, that good, man. It's rare. I mean, not even rare. We have never in the history of film seen someone seamlessly string together 18 movies into one movie. Like, that in itself is a major accomplishment. To be able to do that and to do it well, yeah, man, it was really impressive, man. It was really, really dope. Just a really, really great film. Thanos, definitely the greatest villain,
man.
In Marvel history, man, in the at least in the movies.
Should we still be calling them villains?
Yo, because
anti-heroes.
Yeah, because and that's the thing about Thanos. What makes him dope or whatever is because he's not. It's not him like trying to be a bad guy for the sake of being a bad guy. In his mind, he's literally doing what he's doing to save the world. That's part of what makes him so dope. That's also what makes what made Killmonger so dope as well. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. But it was a really, really dope film, and I'm probably gonna see it again. You know what I'm saying? That'll be my third time. So last night, Shamar went to go see it. So go ahead, hit him with your thoughts, bruh. No spoilers though. No spoilers.
That's all I can say. My mind is thoroughly blown. Like, that movie's crazy. I probably can't really even say much because I'd be giving up parts of the movie, but it is crazy.
Yeah.
It is almost a 3-hour movie, and I wanted more.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna hate. No, I can't say that. Can I say that?
No. As long as you don't say why. Well, let's
Nah,
just
I
say,
mean-
yeah, don't do it.
Nah,
don't do it. Right.
Nah, just go see it quick.
Yeah.
Like I was trying not to see it because I'm like, okay, I saw Black Panther. I'm like, oh, that's the shutdown. I don't need to see another one. That's the greatest superhero movie that's ever going to come out.
Right.
This shit is dope. And then when they started talking about Infinity Wars, I'm like, you pushed it up because Black Panther was doing so well, so I was skeptical. I'm like, it's probably not going to be that good. They're just trying to reap the benefits of Black Panther. So yeah, I'm not really tripping. I can watch it on Kodi when it comes out. Whatever, I'll see it. I'm going to see it. But then everybody's talking about it. I'm like, giving everybody side eye, like, for real? Oh yeah? It's like that? It is like that. It's not much I can say. I can't say anything until maybe, 2 months from now after everyone's seen it.
Right.
Because, anything I'd say would be a spoiler, and that movie is great.
Right.
It's great.
Yeah, man. Nah, it's
Hey, the coolest part, though, was the dude.
Don't get
I'm not even going to spoil it.
Okay.
The midget dude. I thought
you
that
can't.
was really cool.
This is an offensive term now.
Oh.
Right, little person.
Little person. I'm sorry. I really apologize.
Well, from a different era.
I thought I'm so sorry.
Right,
I'm
it's
so
all
sorry.
good.
Yeah, that was. I know that
It's
felt
funny.
really cool when you watched that.
It's funny. So I got excited when I saw him and stuff, and I enjoyed this part. But then I found it surprising that that's one of the knocks that a lot of the critics had. They didn't like his character. Yeah, they did. And you know what it is? That dude is an amazing actor, really great actor. And so it was dope to see him in a role. The whole idea of having him, because he's technically a dwarf. The character is a dwarf. They're like giant dwarfs or whatever. So right, I mean, that's what they call them.
But you can't say too much though, because nobody's seen it. They don't even know that.
So I'm gonna shut up. Thank you, Sherm. See the movie.
Yeah, see it.
It's still early.
See it.
Because a lot of people have seen it. But I gotta stop.
See it so we can start talking about it. Yeah, amazing movie.
Yeah. Right, no spoiler, man. I'm sorry. My apologies. I'm gonna shut up about it. It's a great movie. Y'all see it. So we can talk more about it. We'll probably have another conversation about it.
Joints.
I had to.
Yeah.
And it's so listen, look, for those of you interested in coming on here to promote something, y'all know me, I'm super supportive of stuff, especially when I feel it. And this person kind of threw me off because initially it seemed like they was in here with everybody else. But ultimately they started talking about something that had nothing to do with what we were talking about, and they clearly had an agenda that had nothing to do with us. So I had to go ahead and just hit them with the stiff arm for a second, which is unfortunate because y'all know me. I don't like doing that, you know what I mean? But it got to be done sometimes. So yeah, Infinity War was dope. The Rachel divide was definitely a surprise. I didn't. It was like a train wreck, man. I could not look away. Once we started that documentary,
you're not gonna stop watching.
My daughter came in the room to talk about certain things, and because I want to listen to my daughter and not miss this movie at the same time, I had to stop the movie. It took almost 3 hours for us to finish it because my kid kept coming in the room to talk about other things. And I'm trying to be a good parent, so I'm like, no, not right now. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't be like that, so I paused it. Because I want to hear what they're saying, but more importantly, I need to hear what you're saying, so this will have to wait. You done? Okay. Then wait, she's going again. Okay. But man, it's really, if you give it a chance or whatever, it's really engaging. But it raises some, just to go back to Rachel Divide, the other thing, and I've said this to fans before, man, when we talk about music and then outside of music, when we talk about what it means to be black, you know what I mean? That's a major piece of that film. When we talk about the conversation about what it means to be black. And one of the things I always tell people, that's always a tricky statement. Because one, blackness is not a monolith. What I mean by that, for anybody who doesn't know what I mean by that, there's no one way to be black. You understand what I'm saying? There are certain challenges that us as Black Americans or African Americans face here in the country that some of our brothers and sisters on the continent, even though they were victims of colonialism as well, there are certain issues that they don't necessarily face. especially if they live in a country that's mostly operated by people who look exactly like them. And so blacks, like in certain parts of the world, are running the show in their particular region, although there is outside influence or whatever. But largely, that society's problems won't be the exact same as their brothers and sisters on the other side of the pond. You know what I mean? So there are moments in the film where people are like where they have that conversation, and there's a particular part where the woman, when she runs down what it means to be black, and almost everything she ran down.
The initiation is what
like when she's talking about the initiation, or like basically talking about all of these negative experiences, and though there's truth, like so for example, us, you know what I mean, like we're two dudes that like it's easy to just kind of like believe that our experiences are exact same. But the fact of the matter is, like, yo, like
completely different,
very different, man. Like he grew up in a 2-parent household. I was raised by my mother, you know what I mean, in the suburbs. I was raised by my mom in some of the worst hoods in PG, you know what I mean? And it's funny, like when people meet me, they don't get that vibe. But that's my upbringing. That's what I came up in. And so his experiences and mine are very, very different. You know, and I mean, however, there are some things that overlap, you know what I mean? And so there are some overlaps, but this whole idea that the things that qualify you as being black are strictly the negative experiences is bullshit. You know what I mean? It's absolute bullshit. It is part of our truth, but it's not the whole truth. You know what I mean? And it's just like, yo, like, I'm tired of having conversations about what's messed up about you know, like what's messed up in our culture or what's messed up in our experience without acknowledging the great things and the beauty that we've contributed to the world. Not just you know, like in our house, so to the world. You know what I mean? So I mean, hell, y'all wouldn't even be watching this right now if it wasn't for our contribution to music. The vast majority of y'all, you know what I mean? So you know, and so that's one thing that kind of that's a major thing that bothers me oftentimes when that conversation comes up. People just trying to focus on the negative things or whatever and act like that's the whole experience when it's not. And so so that's my final thoughts on that. John, we'll be talking about that forever and boring the hell out of y'all, man. Hey, Cloud Kick 85, I am doing great, man. Thanks for asking. I hope you can say the same. Hugh was pointing out that there's some theories about the next Avengers movies. Oh man, I got a whole lot, but half of them I can't really speak on without giving away a whole bunch of spoilers. So maybe when it's a little closer to the next movie coming out, then I'll go ahead and speak on that a little bit. We're gonna get back on track with this agenda. Q&A, if y'all got questions, for those of y'all still watching, please send your questions in. We'll try to get to them before we wrap up, because we're getting ready to close out in the next few minutes. Because we just hit an hour, so it's definitely close out time. So look, I'm gonna plug a couple things, but first and foremost, I want to thank my man Shamar, man. If y'all like this setup, you know what I mean, and of course, you know, in the future or whatever, we're gonna have more music to play for y'all, and other things that we're gonna talk about. And of course, man, if y'all ever got questions for me, we're gonna jump into it. But I want to thank my brother Shamar for being here with me always, both on and off the camera, and for letting us use his spot, you know what I mean, so we can get this beautiful lighting and the colors and the vibe and the floor all nice, it's fancy in here, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, let them know how they can follow you online, and also you know, like if they're in the area where they need what they need to do to contact you so they can get fresh.
Well, I'm a dinosaur, so the only social media I really use is Instagram. I'm at the Chef Shop on Instagram. I have a Facebook page. It is, I believe, also at the Chef Shop.
Yeah, just if you go in the description, both his IG and Twitter should already be in there, and through that you can find his Facebook too.
Please check me out if you are in the PG County area, even anywhere. If you're anywhere in the DMV area, please come check me out. I take a lot of pride in what I do. And I don't fuck around. I don't be fucking around, man. I don't really be fucking around. I be putting it down. I don't usually say stuff like that, but I do my thing.
I stamp everything he's saying right now. This dude's hands down best barber I've ever had. So like, I've been going to this dude. He's been keeping me fresh for over 20 years at this point. So yeah, you know what I mean. Definitely, if you're in the area, please support this dude.
Good vibes only, please. If you do want to come check me out, good vibes only. I don't do the stress cuts.
Yeah,
good vibes only.
Right there it is. So make sure you support this man. So lastly, a couple of things that you need to put on your calendar. You can catch me in Norfolk, Virginia. I will be there Father's Day weekend. And that we're going to be performing at, I believe, at the Marriott there. That's for Anime Mid-Atlantic. So that's June 15th. That's the day of the show. But I'll be at the anime convention for the whole weekend, signing copies of all these releases, man. Maybe I'll even see if I can scrounge up some copies of Sub versus Samurai Champ Blue for old time's sake, since it's an anime convention. It's only right? And obviously I'll have copies of the new album there. And it's going to be a great weekend. You probably won't catch me doing any cosplay, but you already know I'm going to have one of the dopest, like, anime/comic/shirts, whatever. I keep a fresh one, you know what I'm saying? And and I'm probably going to be hunting for more. So definitely if you're in the Norfolk, Virginia area, you can catch me then. That's Father's Day weekend. After that, you can catch me at BlurCon in Arlington, Virginia. And that is going to be July 27th through the 29th. All right. So be on the lookout for that. That's supposed to be me, Asheru, and the homie DJ A-Rock. Together we go by Edo Bushido. So look out for that as well. If you have not, what's up? Oh, he looked at me. Man, it's hard to get us all in the same place. That song, one way or another, was supposed to be all three of us. And like, it was just a struggle for months just trying to get Ash in the studio. So I don't want to be like, project coming soon, because we got to be in the same place other than for a live show for a project to happen. So that's another conversation. That's an off-camera conversation. Yeah. Right. So, but in the meantime, if you haven't checked it out yet, here's a link. Make sure you pick up The Garden. His you can check out the latest singles, and you can also pre-order the album here. All right, and there are autographed copies available. Let me make sure that's a hyperlink for y'all real quick. Bang, there it is. High five for Jesus. And so
let me address my what is it, Ashish Shani. Hey man, if you're ever in the United States, come see me, man. Appreciate it, man.
That's what's up. Yeah,
really
man.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, he keeps everybody fresh. My cousins and different people, like, sometimes shoot me text, like, man, I'm being there. What's up with your man Sherm? You know what I'm saying? Like, hit him up, son. But yeah, man. So I think that's pretty much it, guys. I don't have anything else right now. Thank y'all so much for your patience, man. I am so sorry that we haven't been able to do Substantial Sundays for the last few weeks. I owe this dude a lot, man, for opening up his spot to me and letting us do it here. His internet connection is clearly way better than mine. The camera's looking good, though, even though it crashed once. But it's looking a lot better over here, and the lighting helps. So I hope y'all are excited about doing more of these here. And then, and don't worry, y'all still will be getting exclusives. I'll be bringing the new music through. And what I'll do, just to keep it authentic, too, I won't play it ahead of time for Sherm. I'll make sure he's hearing it live too, so you can see the responses. Yeah, see the responses I get when we ain't got the camera on. You know what I mean? And so on that note, man, love y'all, man. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Peace, everybody.
Peace, and be sure to follow my brother online, and we'll see you next week. All right? Peace.